Hey Jordan, it's Trevor Groves from CUTigers.com. Just asking Sheridan about playing the Cavs in a couple of weeks after facing them in the ACC championship. How much are you looking forward to that?
I'm definitely looking forward to it for sure. UVA was definitely a team that was really high on me in recruiting. I was definitely high on them as well. And it's always cool playing against the team where you're from. You know what I mean? It just brings a different type of fire out of you in a sense. You know what I mean? But it's definitely going to be exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to it after the bye week.
You know many players on that team?
I know a lot more of the older guys that played like in years past that aren't even there anymore. But as far as now, I don't think I know many people up there right now.
Hey, this is David Hood with TigerNet. How much fun is it as an older guy to see Trey Williams and Damani Capehart and Brian Bresee? Brent Venables called Brian Bresee like a puppy, to see those guys come in and have all that enthusiasm. And then, how much are you helping to try and mold them?
It's honestly so exciting to see, especially like just seeing Brian from recruiting to being here now. It's just definitely exciting to see all those guys like Trey, DeMonte, even guys like Miles as well that you mentioned. It's just they're just guys that are willing to work and willing to learn and do whatever it takes, honestly. And they definitely take well to like the leadership. They understand where they're at right now and where they want to be, and they definitely put the work in for sure. And it's so exciting just to see it happen on a daily basis, honestly. But as far as like what I do, I mean, I just kind of just try and stay on them, help them in ways I can, bring them to film, do extra workouts, extra things after practice, just to do my part. You know what I mean? I feel like being a leader on the team, being a guy who it was done the same thing with me from like Christian, Dexter, Clee, Austin, guys like that. I feel like I seen it happen to me. I kind of want to trying to return the favor for the younger guys now.
Is there one particular moment or one story from any of those guys that kind of stands out from fall camp to now that, kind of made you laugh at the freshmen or maybe even stood out in a good way?
Made me laugh. Definitely seeing all of their first like real conditioning and stuff, because I don't like we had our break where we couldn't really work out and condition all together. You know what I mean? So guys were doing things on their own. Guys were not really we couldn't be with the team, so everybody was just out there doing their own thing. And then when we got back, we hit the ground running and we were conditioning and basically seeing where everybody was at. But seeing how they thought it was very different, like how it was more intense in here with the team lifts and stuff like that, as opposed to things they may have been doing on their own or with trainers or stuff like that. But that was probably one of the funniest things. But most exciting thing about all those guys, I feel like in the past two games, seeing Brian and Miles perform has just been very exciting. And then even seeing DeMonte last game get his first sack and things like that. It's things like that you're really proud to see, especially like knowing these guys and putting in the work with them in the off season and doing things like that and just hanging out with them, developing relationships. It was something that was very exciting to see.
Jordan, this is Pete Yakabelli from the AP. How excited, or are you guys excited for a bye week, given the fact of how stressful and worrisome this camp might have been, different than other camps?
It's definitely something we all need. We got a lot of guys banged up, guys that need to get back, a couple of nicks and bruises we can take care of. But it's definitely good that we have it early on. We're going to have a little stretch coming up here in a minute before our next bye week. But I think it's something that the team needs. It's something that is going to help us grow and work together. But we got to realize that this isn't a week off. You know what I mean? This is just another preparation week. And then when we get back, it's going to be hit the ground running, getting ready for UVA.
Jordan, how important was it during camp to just stay focused and disciplined for the defensive guys, simply because of everything else that was going on?
It wasn't tough, I don't think. I feel like guys definitely handled it differently. Like different guys handled it in different ways. There was just so much going on in the world and with COVID and social injustice and things like that it's very hard to put more focus onto like football. You know what I mean? It's just with everything happening around us, and we're as athletes, we're meant to be in this space where we're supposed to just play ball and that's it. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of guys on the team and a lot of guys across the country and conferences definitely use their voice and their platform to get their message across. And I feel like that's something that was definitely amazing to see this whole off season. As far as focusing, I don't think it really took away from our focus at all, really. I feel like we were just so excited to be out there ready to play football again that it didn't really matter what was going on. But it does, but it didn't. You know what I mean? Like, we were just excited to be out there, be around each other, and doing what we love to do. So I feel like that's kind of what helped push us and, like, fight for our season and fight for social injustice and things like that meant a lot to a lot of guys on the team.
Well, Jordan, does this feel like football now?
It definitely feels like football, you know. Still gotta, if you running into the facility, you still gotta run back to your car, get your mask and stuff like that. It's still different, but as far as football, it's definitely football. You know what I mean? I don't care if there's 20,000, 10,000, or no fans. It's still football, and it's still preparation. It's still all of that. There's a lot of things that are very different, but I feel like this is what we asked for, and this is what we're glad we're getting.
Thanks.
Jordan, on that note of using your platform to push for social justice, is there like a desired result in all of this, or is the goal just to get your message out there, or do you want to see some sort of specific concrete change or something like that?
I mean, obviously the ultimate goal is to see change in what we're doing, but I feel like it was definitely a goal to use our platforms for more than just football. You know what I mean? Like, we're also people too. We're not just athletes. We're not just football players. We're not just Clemson football players, but we're definitely in ways want to use our platform to express things that matter most to us. And I feel like that's something that a lot of guys focus on this offseason. A lot of guys preached about and tweeted about and posted about. And I think it's definitely a message that got across and was very clear to a lot of people.
Is it disappointing when there is sometimes some pushback from fans with that stuff?
It's very disappointing, but you can't really just take it as a negative and not work and still not try and get your message across. There's always going to be backlash and people that don't agree with you, but you can't let that affect how you think or how you feel about what you believe in.
Hey, Jordan, it's Trevor again. Y'all came close to pitching shutouts several times in the past, but it's been 4 years. How thrilling was that for you to be a part of the first shutout in 4 years? It
was definitely exciting to be. I think it's actually my first shutout since I've been at Clemson, but it's definitely exciting. Like you said, we've been so close, and the more we rotate in the younger guys with less experience, that's when we tend to give up more points. But to see our depth, I feel like the shutout this past weekend definitely shows a good display of our depth that we have on defense, particularly like in the secondary, in the front, up front, all of that. So it's definitely exciting to see. And me personally, I'm definitely excited about my first shutout.
Jordan, this is Larry Williams with TigerIllustrated.com. As a defensive line, when you're missing Tyler and Justin and Xavier, and you can still just overwhelm people, what does that feel like? Just to know that you can do that even when you don't have your full numbers.
It just definitely gets you excited. Definitely knowing what we have and what we're working with right now. It definitely just shows a display of our depth. You know what I mean? Like, guys basically are told they got to be ready to come play, and it's definitely like, it's not exciting. Like, it's not fun not having Justin, Xavier, and Tyler out there, but it's something that we're gonna have to work through, and it's something that's a part of the game right now, especially a part of everything going on right now. But essentially, it's something that we're gonna have to grow from and learn to develop that depth that we need up front, especially. But we have a lot of guys that are playing good ball right now, and I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen when we're all back and coming together to play.
Jordan, you moved from end over to tackle, so you're a versatile guy. Of course, Christian Wilkins, we saw him play both. How versatile is Brian Brzee? Could you actually see him playing some defensive end at some point?
If we needed him, I know for a fact he can go out there and get it done. It's definitely different for being inside and outside and being an end. It's definitely different, but I don't think it's anything that would be too much for Brian to handle at all. He has the athleticism. He's a freak athlete. He can get it done. He's a very smart player as well. But I feel like there's not nothing that he can't do.
As a veteran, you know, how impressed were you with what Coach Venables did last year? Obviously, the numbers on the defensive line were down, and he kind of had to retool the defense and maybe build it around Isaiah. How impressive was that to watch, and then to see him kind of retool it again this year to maybe go back to a strength on the D line?
It definitely just goes to show the type of preparation he has and the type of like coach he is. He's a very smart, educated. He's a very smart coach. He knows his stuff, and I don't know how he knows it or what he does know, but I just go through what he tells me to do, and I trust him. I trust him as a coach, as an individual, as a person, and I just know that he's gonna put us in the defensive line and the back seven in the best position to go win and be productive.
Any more questions for Jordan?
Hey, Jordan, this is Grace Rayner with The Athletic. Just what do you think the difference was for you in earning that starting job?
I mean, I definitely had to develop a different type of mindset. I feel like I had to put more work in, and if I wanted to get where I wanted to get, I definitely couldn't stay the same. I had to get better and improve. I think that just becomes a product of starting. I feel like we have a lot of guys in the room that work very hard and they're pushing each other, and we're pushing each other and competing every day. But earning the starting spot was definitely exciting for me, important for me, and I just feel like my hard work didn't go unnoticed and it's being recognized, and I feel like that's the key to it.